It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go! Monday show, May 8th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com. If you're watching live, Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon to you, too. I guess I get off my chest now. Bad day for me in the morning. My father's mother, my grandmother, Grandma Shirley Edwards, she went home this morning. She passed away this morning, so family and I are dealing with that, and had a lot of love, a lot of praise. So just dealing, if you will. Everybody's dealing with something, so I don't bring this to the people on the chat or bring this to you guys, but just everybody's dealing with something.
Hey, man, a lot of people love you, Braylon Edwards, and a lot of people love your family. Grandma Shirley, absolutely. We'll keep her in our thoughts and in our prayers. And, of course, your dad, Stan, today. Stan's been a huge part of this show since we got it off the ground.
He was rocking and rolling on Tuesdays.
Yeah, absolutely. We are thinking of Stan today as well, and yourself, Braylon. We absolutely love you.
Good weekend, though.
Anything you need. Good weekend, though, otherwise
yeah,
for you.
Good weekend. Vet Life is a vet excuse me, a vet organization that does a lot of things in the community, and they had a kids camp in Howell, Michigan. So I was able to go up there and participate. It was K through 8. A lot of fun with these kids, man, playing football, and it's so funny where you what's up, Tom Mazawey over there, by the way, before I got my story.
God bless your family.
I appreciate that,
First
man. You know, Stan's your guy.
You know I love Stan.
Stan's your guy,
Stan's
man.
my guy. Ryan, good to see you, bro.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
You got it.
We all got our things, right?
Everybody's got something.
We all got our things.
But it's so funny. You go to these camps. I'm 40 years old. Like, you know, I'm not about to get to running around and playing with these kids. I'm out there in flip flops trying to. 2 seconds out there, I had to go back to the car and get my shoes and run around with the kids. And I got
doing those stops.
Oh man, doing the stops and showing them the sideline routine, and we're doing cone drills and tennis ball drills. It's so funny though, Ryan and Maz. It's the ages now. For me, I would say 5th grade to 8th grade or through high school, you can't talk to those kids. Those kids, they know it all. Especially the boys. Boys know it all. They got all the stuff. Like, when did you play? Who did you play? Why you look so old? You don't play in the NFL. What's this? You can't run. You're not fat. I'm like, what? I love the K through 3rd grade. Like, they just love being out there. I love the kids still swatting at flies in the air, kind of like the picture you sent to Lukey 2 years ago. It's that video. But those kids are great. And also the girls. The girls are sponges. That is why they are so good as it relates to fundamentals in every sport. They listen. You tell the guys, hey, go 3 steps. I want you to run around the cone and come back, catch the tennis ball. Guys, they're doing spin moves. They're doing Odell Beckham. They're trying to catch you with one hand. They're going the wrong distance. When you tell the girls, hey, go around the cone and come back, they go around the cone, come right back to you. I love working K through 3 and the girls because they listen. The boys, were we like that?
It's a great question. Like Luke,
I don't want to be that guy, but was we like that?
Luke had T-ball this weekend.
Okay,
and it's a co-ed T-ball league. 5 and 6 year olds,
yeah.
And you could just tell the boys are in the dirt doing all this other stuff. They're not listening to the coaches or anything like that, even though they're trying. And the girls are there with their gloves. They're ready for action. They're ready to play ball. And they're listening to the coaches. And I don't know. Like, my daughter is such a better listener than my son, and I think it just happens like that.
Yeah.
I think it just happens like that, Maz. What you got? 3
Well,
girls.
3 girls.
I got nothing but girls in my life. 4 sisters, 3 daughters. I coach girls softball and basketball, the works. They are great. When they're little like that, they're the best. As they're getting older, you know what? They're still good. The Bishop Foley girls yesterday, the first ever at Ford Field. The Lions have made a flag football league.
Oh, yeah.
For different girls around the state of Michigan, and the Bishop Foley girls were there, and they actually won the game yesterday, and they got on Fox 2 with the hammer last night.
That's awesome.
And state champs did something on them. It was so much fun for these kids. I wish my daughter gave a damn and wanted to be on the team, She didn't, but all her friends were. So
She doesn't,
shout
and
out.
she's not.
She doesn't, and she's not. That's Maddie, and she just does her thing.
Saturday. I mean, you know what Saturday was for you,
that
man?
was a big day.
The 149th Kentucky Derby. Talk about it, man.
I love it. I just
Paint
love
a picture
that
for me,
day.
Maz. Paint a picture for me.
Well, first of all, I usually like watch it on my own,
Yeah.
just with the family, and I have the volume up. I'm locked in all day long. But we had people over.
Yeah, 20 people, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, about 20 people.
I called you.
I know you did.
There we go.
I got with you.
Yeah.
You were out visiting a friend of ours.
100%.
All right. So anyway, we were just hanging out. Ken Cal came over, the incomparable
good old
Ken
Kenny
Cal.
Cal.
Ken Cal.
Ken, all my buddies, Tim Kane, Mike Allway, Officer Steve, he was over. Kathy's friends were over. So in other words, there were a lot of kids there. I hardly got to watch a damn thing.
Get out of
all
here.
day. The race is going off. I could not even hear Larry Colmus's call because everyone's screaming. And I ran a pool. You pick a horse out of the hat.
Yeah.
Everyone put money in. At the end, there's like 2 minutes to post. My friend's like, why don't we all put $5 in and we'll just pick a horse and put it on it. In other words, go on the app and put it on.
Yeah.
It. Meanwhile, I'm booking everyone's bets on my. So they all put $2 in. They wind up coming up with $20, and they throw it on the 8. They throw it on Mage.
Oh, wow.
So they brought home $360, and then my buddy Mike went around and paid everyone off. And,
They cut you in on
Venmo'd. My wife got the money. I was too busy losing my own freaking money.
Smart.
I had the second and third horse, and my buddy had the winner. You think we'd get together and bet the trifecta? No, we're stupid horse players. We're idiots. We blew like $1,200 we left on the table. $1,200! Left it on the table.
Maz,
But it was a great
so
race. And of
much.
course, I rewatched it twice.
You have to. You couldn't hear Larry's
I couldn't
call.
hear it.
So
couldn't even hear Larry's
Here's
call.
a great segue for you, Ryan Ermanni.
Okay.
I watched it at O'Toole's, and O'Toole's happens to be located in what city, Ryan Ermanni?
Is it Royal Oak?
It happens to be Royal Oak.
I'll never go there again.
Why is that?
I will never go there again. So this is a tweet that I had. Got the mail on Saturday. Let me just read the tweet for you.
And I'm right behind you.
I got a parking ticket in the mail from the city of Royal Oak. I had a work commitment on draft night. Paid a meter $4.50 to park. Was there for overtime in zone. I feel terribly sorry for the business owners in that city. Royal Oak's parking situation has to be hindered by your businesses. Has to be hindering your businesses. I can't imagine
Something
ever
like
going
that.
back there. So the deal was on draft night, we had the party at Fifth Avenue. Great party. Got there at 6:31. Paid max, whatever, 3 hours.
Did you do the app or did you put money in?
No, I put my credit card in.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, great. 9:30. This takes me to 9:30. $4.50 takes me to 9:30. I'm going to be great. What city charges past 9:30?
The same one that gave me a ticket that same night, Royal Oak.
So
And me.
So I put that tweet out there. That
Yeah.
tweet has gotten 85,000 views.
Wow.
It's got
Insights and all
It's
that.
got all these comments and everybody with their story on getting a ticket. So not only was it me, Gabby got a ticket, Terry Foster got a ticket, you got a ticket, Maz got a ticket. Maz, you quote tweeted as well.
I did.
You got.
I can't
a
read it
ticket.
because I just got out of the eye doctor, but I'll just I'll spin it to you. I use the
Me
app.
too.
The parking app. Okay? And not only that, as a good citizen, I watch the parking app all night long. And like, okay, I'll put more money in when my time is running out. It wouldn't let me. It maxed me out. Why did it max me out, Ryan?
Because you can only stay in a spot for 3 hours max before you have to move your vehicle.
So I come outside after the first round is over with my drunk friends. I'm driving them home.
Right.
And everything is good. The place is absolutely a ghost town. It's dead. There's no business going on at that point. There's like 4 cars parked on the street, and they still ticket me.
You know what they're getting sneaky about too is now
It's all computerized.
They used to always put the little sleeve. Exactly, it's computerized. They used to put the little sleeve in there for you. Say, hey, you've
Yeah.
been here too long. Put the little sleeve. Because if you get the sleeve, that usually makes you go pay it early. You go pay it early. It's $10 as opposed to 20, or it's 20 as opposed to 40 if you're downtown Detroit. By them not doing it, It sneaks. It takes what 2 weeks for it to come in. It comes in the mail, and then you got to pay full price by then. You don't even get the option of, hey, since I'm right here in Birmingham, let's say it's Birmingham, police station was right there, and parking is enforced. You know what? Here's $10. I'm sorry. Boom, cut it in half. They don't even give you that option anymore because it's now digitized.
I'm going to the police station and I'm fighting it.
So
I'm not paying this ticket.
Listen, their rules are their rules. You can only stay. They extended it, so they changed the rules a little bit because everybody's pissed about it. But their rules still suck. Your rules still suck, Royal Oak, and it's costing your businesses. I can't imagine ever going back to the city of Royal Oak. I am so mad about it, and I'll tell you, if it was a situation where a parking meter cop or whatever you call them came, wrote my license plate down, and stuck the ticket in my windshield, I would feel one way about it. But because it was a Big Brother situation where they force you to back into the spot, they take a picture of your license plate when you get in the spot, they take a picture of your license plate when you drive off, and then they mail you a ticket, that's enough for me never to be in your city again. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. Your rules suck. I just feel bad for the businesses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Because
going to do next time? I'm going to cover my plate. I'm covering my license plate.
yeah, I don't know what they
Then
do
it
in
might
that
get
case.
towed.
I don't know what they do in that
You might
case.
get towed.
I mean, I look today. They charge you from like until midnight. Until midnight.
But it wouldn't let me put more
I
money
know,
in.
because that's the longest time you could stay in a spot is 3 hours, and they charge till midnight. So
Who charges till midnight?
Exactly, and
The
you know,
places aren't even open to
I
midnight.
was actually surprised. Surprised that there was some pushback on my tweet and the way I'm handling the situation.
And me. They
you
called
too.
us wussies.
And that's fine. You can keep your rules. I'm not. Go ahead. And I can choose to take my business elsewhere too. You know what I mean? Keep your rules. I'm all good. I'm not mad about it. I already paid the $20. Your rules are your rules, and that's great. My business is my business, and I'll take it elsewhere. I just, again, it takes, for these small local business owners to stay in business, it's really hard because it's so easy to stay inside. It is so easy to get your Amazon. It is so easy to get your groceries delivered.
Especially since COVID.
Yeah, it's
Nobody
so
wants to leave the
easy
house.
to do everything.
Yeah.
So it takes effort to go out, and when you have a city or a municipality, whatever you want to call it, like really just kind of like putting their foot on your customer's throat and begging you. They are literally begging your customers not to come to your city.
Yeah.
That's enough for me. That's
At least
it.
in Birmingham, we have a parking lot here that you can go and they pay the first 2 hours for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and if you have to max out, it's $8.
And they're not
$8 for the whole day.
And even in parking spots, a lot of these parking spots say 2 hours, but they don't really. Let me be quiet because they're watching, but they don't even police it like that. Every once in a while, you might get a ticket, but for the most part, they don't even police the free parking, if you will. Speaking of being wussies, Ryan and Ermanni, you'll get a kick out of this too, Maz. So Ohio State beat Michigan pretty bad for the span of just under a decade.
20 years.
Okay, yeah, there you said. Just under a decade, if you will, correct? And in that span, you would see a lot of posts of former Michigan highlights, or you would see Michigan people in comments talking about, like, man, the good old days, bringing up Michigan wins, or bringing up when Michigan was good, or when Michigan dominated Ohio State. And what would Ohio State fans always say? The past. The past. You guys are always bringing up the past. You guys living in the 90s, living in the 70s. Oh, but my, how the tables have turned. NBC or Fox posted a Braxton Miller highlight from the 2013 game, which I believe Ohio State lost that game anyway. But you saw all the Ohio State fans living in the past. And I'm not much of a troll. Hint, hint.
Uh-oh.
But I said, you know what? I'm gonna poke the bear. I said, my, how the mighty have fallen. I remember all the hate and all the flack Michigan fans got for living in the past. I said, this is funny. All you should have seen the Ohio State comments coming in. F you, we did this, that, and the third, and we did this for this long, and you guys haven't done this, and you guys wouldn't have been able to stay with Georgia. In fact, didn't you go 1-3 against Ohio State and blah, blah, blah. I said, there's also never been an Ohio State wide receiver been drafted higher than me. So take that, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Put that
but
in.
I love it. Ohio State Boy, they feeling the type of way these days.
That is so great. Guys, we'll read your comments. Also, coming up, Matt Ishbia, I almost said Novak Djokovic.
What?
That's a different sport.
Stephen A. Smith did that same thing.
Did he really?
He did. He called him Jokic.
Oh, my God.
During
the Joker.
Stephen A's world.
We'll talk about the Joker and all that NBA stuff. And Lions getting a lot of national love as well. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. That's right, Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. Les Stanford, Buick, GMC. Same great service that customers have come to know. Go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, welcome back. WoodwardSports.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over 43,000 subscribers. If you can't watch live, download our podcast. Leave a 5-star review anywhere and everywhere you listen to your podcasts. Kyle Bird writes in the WoodwardSports.com chat, the city-owned parking structures in Royal Oak are free for the first 2 hours as well. Parking is still a joke, though. You know, I was talking to Gabrielle D. Phillips here. You see her on the morning show.
Not to cut you off, Ryan, but whoever said that would appreciate the comment. The only difference is usually those the parks are. It's a ton of places to park in Royal Oak, though. Like, it's a ton of places open to park. The reason in Birmingham you park in the structure is because there's nowhere to park. Right. The fact that there's a bunch of empty spaces makes it the problem.
Well, without question, and there's safety involved in that as well. I mean, if you're a lovely young lady who's
you don't want to go to the garage.
You're gonna walk 2 blocks, 3 blocks to a parking garage when there's a spot right out in front. You can just get in your car and drive home. Especially if you're walking alone. I mean, there is this thing called safety, and it's a lot safer.
Are you going to fight the ticket?
I already paid it.
Oh.
I already paid because there's nothing you can possibly do. This is me fighting the ticket.
Yeah.
Me fighting the ticket is
bringing awareness to it.
I'm going to go to the station.
You should.
I am.
And me never spending another dollar in that city again, if I can avoid it.
Yeah, because Ryan's like, if I got to go to the station, then that means I got to do what? I got to go to Royal Oak.
No doubt.
I got it with me. I'm hitting them on the way home.
No doubt.
Make sure you put money in the meter.
Guys, story of the day. I will get to the Lions in just a little bit, but the story of the day is what happened in the NBA yesterday, and it involves Nikola Jokic and Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Phoenix Suns, of course. United Wholesale Mortgage here locally, and can we play the clip? Do we have the? We cannot play the clip. Okay.
I have his tweet though.
Okay. We could show the tweet, but really what happened was the ball goes over to the sidelines, and Matt Ishbia kind of cradles the ball, holds on to the ball. Jokic. Comes in and tries to get the ball from Ishbia. Ishbia doesn't give the ball up at first, so there's a little
turns.
There's a little bit of a struggle, a little tiny bit. I don't even know if you can call it a struggle, but then
he pushed him.
Jokic kind of gave him a slight forearm, very slight.
Okay, see now, go back a little bit.
How about this? They made contact with one another
because Ishbia tried to turn away with the ball, as you should not, because you are a spectator. Even though you're an owner, you're a spectator. Jokic reaches forward. Ishbia turns away. The ball flies in the air and goes that way. Then Ishbia puts his hand on Jokic's back. He puts it on his lower back when we watch the highlight, and that's what you hear Jokic say in the press conference. So Ishbia and what do you call it? Intended or he creates contact first.
Initiates contact.
Initiates. That's where I was looking. He initiated contact. Now continue.
And then it was the flop heard round the world.
Oh my God!
And it was wild.
Yeah.
So a technical foul was assessed, and there you go. But Matt Ishbia says, great win for the Suns last night, an amazing series so far. That should be and is the only story. Suspending or fining anyone over last night's incident would not be right. I have a lot of respect for Jokic, and I don't want to see anything like that. Excited for Game 5. Go Suns.
You know why he made that comment? Let's start here.
Because
First
they
of
won.
all, exactly. But you know why they won? Well, I'm not going to say solely. We'll get to why they won. And Devin Booker and what he's doing. They got a point out of that. First of all, he shouldn't be holding the ball. He tries to keep the ball from Jokic. He set that whole thing up because keep in mind, he is a basketball player. He was on the national championship team in 2000 at Michigan State. But Team Cleaves is his right-hand man. Isaiah Thomas was sitting right next to Matt Ishbia. He knew what he was doing. They got a point out of that. They slowed down the momentum of the game out of that when Denver was up. That affected a game. I don't care what anybody say. He got a point out of that. He shouldn't have got a point out at all. Eventually, Ryan, Ermanni, and Maz, there's going to be a fight courtside. Like the Malice in the Palace, there's going to be one courtside because these people pay a ton of money, and obviously he's the owner, so he deserves to have a seat wherever the hell he wants to sit. But they pay a lot of money for these seats. They sit courtside. They've been getting into it with players for about the last 3-4 years now. It's getting worse and worse. I promise you, there is going to be a melee that is going to happen. There's going to be some entitled fan who spent $15,000 for some Warriors tickets or $20,000 for some Knicks tickets since they're good again, and it's going to be a fan and a player. And it's going to get ugly because the fans that come see, they don't care anything about the rules and regulations. All they care is that, I paid $20,000 for these seats or I paid $10,000 for these seats. It's going to be a fight coming soon. Mark my words. And the players, they're not like the players of the past that were more mature, more where they can figure it out. These guys are young, and they're like, shoot, anybody can get this smoke.
This was Matt Ishbia's welcome to the NBA, though, wasn't it?
Damn sure was.
If you had no idea who Matt Ishbia was, if you're not a Phoenix Suns fan, if you're not a resident of the state of Michigan,
he's only been the owner for 2 days.
Right, you probably have no idea who Matt Ishbia is. Now you see this guy sitting courtside, mixing it up with the players a little bit. He will be part of the story now. His name is out there, whether that was intentional or unintentional, whether it was just reaction or reflexive or not. Matt Ishbia is one of those guys now that is at the forefront of the NBA owners kind of that right? You know Mark Cuban. You know. At
least you thought you did.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like
Jeannie
NBA
Buss?
owners now.
Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer.
Jeannie Buss. Steve Kroenke. Steve Kroenke.
Stan
Kroenke, excuse me.
Who does he own? Who does Stan Kroenke own? I know he owns the LA Rams.
He owned the Nuggets at one point.
Oh, does he own the Nuggets?
He owned the
might
Nuggets.
own the Nuggets.
Yeah, he owned the Nuggets at one point.
That's crazy.
100%.
But yeah,
James Dolan, the Knicks.
Yeah, I think Matt.
No, he
Ishbia
does own
now.
the Nuggets. He owns the Nuggets.
That's right. That's incredible stuff. So pretty interesting. And I do think it is a little bit of an attitude to the Phoenix Suns.
I think it works in his favor too. Like, this is a young world nowadays. Everything is young. The younger you can get. The NFL has gotten younger. Players have gotten younger. Coaches have gotten younger. He's a young owner. And you see him, and then you see the tweet that he put out. Obviously, like you said, man, he got the W, so he's like, don't suspend him. He's smart. But that tweet's going to go a long way because it's going to be like, oh, you know what? He said don't suspend the Joker. That tweet's going to go a long way, too, even though he got the win. So he's going to be a popular owner.
How about I didn't watch the game. How's KD playing?
So I'm glad you brought that up. KD hasn't been playing good this playoffs.
Because I haven't heard about him.
KD, yesterday was his first efficient game. What I mean by efficient, like he had a great shooting field goal percentage. He had
11 of 19, 36 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists.
And that's the first time he had a KD game. KD in the playoffs has been bad since last year. People forget they lost in the first round last year. They got put out and he had a ton of turnovers. He played that way for the most part. Devin Booker is the reason why the Phoenix Suns are now tied with the Denver Nuggets at 2-2. Devin Booker is having the most prolific shooting performance in 9 games of all time. Yesterday he was 14 of 18 for 42 points
Wow.
or for 38 points. The game before that,
And he only took 4 threes, by the way, too.
And
That was like a Rip Hamilton kind of game.
and the game before that, he was 20 of 25 for 46 points. Devin Booker is on a tear. I wrote some numbers down.
I see a lot of Piston fans are still wanting him to come back to
He's
Detroit.
from
They
Michigan.
just signed a
And
5-year deal, right,
I
last
know.
year?
He's
Shoot.
always wearing Detroit hats and Detroit
Yeah.
gear.
He's averaging 30. He's 36.3 points a game right now. 8.8 assists. Devin Booker's not a guy that passes the ball. He had 12 assists last night. But here's the kicker, man. 61% is what he's shooting from
Wow.
the field, and he's a 2-guard.
That's unconscious.
The only time this is done before, and it was at a lower points per game, was Kareem and Shaq. They both
Sure.
were at 61
Dunk.
and 60. Exactly. 34 and 32 is what they, or 30 and 34 is what they average. 36 points a game as a 2-guard, shooting 61% in the last 2 games,
That's
Ryan.
an MVP.
In the last 2 games, man, he's 34 43. That's 79%. He's unconscious. And yes, it's because KD allows the spacing. Because even as good as Devin Booker has played, people are still more scared of KD, so it allows him to be open. But he's playing at a type of pace where it's like, we knew you scored 70 once, but damn, we didn't know you were that good.
So the Suns right now playing, let's face it, they're dangerous. They're a dangerous animal the way you're talking.
Yeah, 100%.
The way you're talking, because if they go to him, then
Yeah.
KD's going to be open.
And the big thing with and KD had a great game last night. He finally showed up. Like you said, 11 of 19. He had 12 boards as well to go along with Devin Booker's 12 assists. But the other thing, too, is with Chris Paul getting hurt, it's kind of like when Blake Corum got hurt before the Ohio State game. With Chris Paul getting hurt, it forced Monty Williams to go to the bench. It forced him to play Terrence Ross. It forced him to play Landry Shamet, who in the fourth quarter yesterday had 4 threes. That's how you get wins. So maybe Chris Paul getting injured made Monty Williams go to the bench and say, this is what we should do. It's kind of like with Blake Corum. That offense looked really good in the Ohio State game, and maybe they don't go to those trick plays. Maybe they don't go to throwing the ball down the field to JJ if Blake Corum doesn't get hurt.
Broader picture of the NBA is I'm just looking at the 8 teams left, 4 in each conference. You've got the Sixers and Celtics. You've got the Heat and the Knicks. In the West, you've got the Suns and the Nuggets, and you got the Lakers and the Warriors. What do you think the NBA itself, the league, is rooting for? Are they rooting for a Lakers-Knicks?
Of course.
Is that
Knicks.
like,
Warriors
is-
or Lakers versus the Knicks?
I would say, yeah, Warriors.
Warriors or Lakers versus the Knicks.
Is
their
there any team in the East right now? I mean, Philadelphia,
Sixers.
Boston.
The only
Yeah,
reason Sixers.
Sixers.
The only,
They don't have the cachet, man.
but
the
they're
Knicks.
but it's Philadelphia. But it's Philadelphia, and it's the MVP of the league. It's Joel Embiid. So that's the only reason I can say that. But yeah, it's the Knicks and Lakers or Warriors.
But the Knicks aren't up for it. They're not.
They're not.
They're
and
not
that's,
ready yet.
And that's why I say I want Knicks. They're not ready. It would be a blowout. Like watching Julius Randle,
Yeah.
he's the
They're not ready.
He's the worst field goal percentage player in the playoffs the last 3 years. He's horrible. So it definitely will be Philly. Because Philly, you get a team that can play. You get James Harden, who's won the MVP before. It is Philadelphia, which you're wearing a Phillies jersey right now. Exactly. So it'll be Philadelphia. Joel Embiid is the MVP. It will be Philadelphia, I think, and then one of those 2 teams.
There you go. All right, guys. When we come back, we're going to talk some Lions. They are getting some national love. We'll show you what we mean by that. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring and technology backed by people. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization, we serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. WoodwardSports.com for all the latest news, articles, updates, show clips, and merchandise. We both here on the
check that out.
desk
I can't
wearing a little
today.
merch from the WoodwardSports.com shop. Really comfortable stuff as well.
It feels great, man. Material. The sizes are the other thing I like. The sizes are they run perfect or nice.
And you can't beat the price. I mean, for the kind of shirt that you're getting, you cannot beat the price. You go to big box store and spending $60 on a shirt sometimes.
Man, this stuff right is funny because around this time, Ryan, you guys know what I transitioned into is that sounds just funny. What I transitioned into is golf gear.
Yeah.
All I wear from April through maybe October is golf stuff. Golf stuff is expensive. When you go to Carl's, wherever you go, or whether you're miles of golf, if you're in Ann Arbor, Puma stuff is $125 for a quarter zip. Peter Millar stuff is $160 through the roof.
Jesus.
Like all that stuff is expensive. This right here, not so much.
That's right. I mean, you go Under Armour, Nike, all that stuff.
90,
it's like,
100.
come
Hey,
on,
my bowling
man.
team, we got shirts. We got Woodward Sports
Michigan
shirts.
quarter
Yeah, you
zip.
got
We start
to.
again tomorrow.
Tuesday night bowling
Yeah,
for you,
here we
man.
go.
Hey.
Tuesday
Where's
Summer
this
League.
league? Where's the Summer League?
Harbor Lanes. St.
Oh,
Clair
man.
Shores.
I
10
love-
and Jefferson.
I'd love to come to a Tuesday night Maz bowling
You gotta
league
come.
one
If
time.
you come, I'm gonna buy you the Stromboli. They make great Stromboli.
They got good Stromboli there?
I'll come
Great
out there. We go
Stromboli.
together.
All right.
Maybe like Tuesday.
I love it.
You tell me what Tuesday. I'll make
I'll
it
get
happen.
you guys a
love it.
lane.
They got good
Okay.
Stromboli there.
Strombols.
Hey, guys, I saw this earlier today, and my initial reaction was I just absolutely love seeing this. This is from Pro Football Focus. This is Collinsworth's deal, right, Maz? Pro Football
Yes.
Focus. I get them all messed up. Who is winning the NFC? And look at the 4 teams that he chose to put on here. That team at PFF chose to put up there. The Eagles, the Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers, and your Detroit Lions. Just to see the Lions on a graphic like this,
It's
it's
almost a joke.
Doesn't it kind of legitimize?
Is today April 1st?
Yeah.
Doesn't it kind of legitimize how the country feels about the direction of the Lions and where they're going? Just to get that kind of respect. Now, there is nobody. These aren't. I guess you would say that either the Eagles or the Cowboys won the division. San Francisco looks like a division winner, and Detroit looks like a division winner here. There is nobody in the NFC South represented on this graphic. But, I mean, first thing that I thought of when I saw it was so great to be included in that group.
100%. And then you look at the guys on there, you assume that they're going to win their division. They're projected to win their division. The good thing about this is for Detroit Lions fans. Let's put the fans on Front Street right now. It's for the fans, because when you think you have a good team, or especially the Detroit Lions, especially Cleveland, like cities like that, where you're like every year, yo, this is going to be the year. Yo, this is going to be the year. Yo, they picked up this guy. They got this coach, and then what happens? Another losing season. Another losing season. So to see what Detroit did last year and to be a fan and say, oh, man, I got to go get season tickets, or I'm so excited. 9-8, they beat Aaron Rodgers at home. This team is for real. But you're still deep down inside like, are we really, though? I know I'm saying this on social media, but damn, are we really? But when you see PFF say it, when you see the 33 team say it, when you see 33rd, excuse me, I apologize. When you see Fox say it, when you see Woodward Sports say it, now you're going to double down on your aggression. That's what this means for the Detroit Lions fans and for the Detroit Lions. They've done a tremendous job of doing what they did last year, taking what they had last year, the foundation they built, and adding strong pieces to that pillar. Now that they got the foundation, now is when you start to get interesting when you're building a building. When you build it, the foundation is not cute. It's strong, it's sturdy, you get it going. But once you start getting upwards out the ground, then you get the glass, and then you get the type of siding that you want to do. That's what the Lions are doing. They're putting their building together, and it looks good.
Listen, man, I just love seeing Leapin up there with those logos. That Eagles, that 49er logo, that star for the Cowboys, and Leapin is up there. I don't know. It sounds corny, but I get like the chills when I see stuff like that. I cannot wait for freaking football. I cannot wait for September. I'm so looking forward to it. if they stay healthy, man, they're gonna be something. They really are. It's great.
You're getting choked up.
It's so
great.
It's so weird because I was having a little bit of a tough day today, and I kind of saw this, and it made me smile.
Yeah.
It did make
That's
me
nice.
smile
I'm telling
today.
you, can't help it.
And I too cannot wait for September. I can't wait to get here. Now that means that you wish the summer away, right?
I don't care.
You wish the summer away a bit to get to football season. But we're coming up to a time here, and the NFL schedule release, which may or may not happen on Thursday now, because there's word that they are.
And the Lions are involved in that.
Absolutely. There's word that they're having a difficult time coming up with the schedule. This from Ari Meirov of the 33rd team, our good friend. The NFL hoped to have its regular season schedule announced on Thursday, but there's a chance it may not be ready and could be delayed. That's from Peter King. The schedule makers are expected to meet with the commissioner later today. They could be doing that right now for all we know. More clarity is expected later this afternoon or early this evening, maybe even tomorrow. One of the things from Peter King that I was reading was they're really having a hard time trying to figure out Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football. Thanksgiving is a big one. That Black Friday game now that they've added is a big one. So they play so many different days of the week between Thursday and Friday, and now late season Saturdays.
And going to Germany and going to London.
And that is another question as well. So apparently the Kansas City Chiefs have asked the league not to schedule the Chicago Bears in that game in Germany.
I want to know why.
Whether they believe that Chicago is a big market and they want to play Chicago at home so that Chicago's fans can experience something, or that their fans can experience seeing the Bears come there.
Nobody's going to see the Bears.
A preeminent franchise in the NFL, the Chicago Bears are. That helmet is classic.
Yeah, you say what you want to. They got a bigger fan base than we do as it relates to internationally. Like the Chicago Bears do have a bigger fan base. It sucks, but they do. They have a Super Bowl and they got the 85 Bears. That's about all. But what I thought about is this, and I wrote it down, so maybe I'm going to read what I text you guys because I kind of forgot. A lot going on this morning. I said, I think it's about a neutral site. Like if you got to play a team in a neutral site, you want that to be a team that might be a problem that you have to play at home. The Chicago Bears are an easy win at Arrowhead. They're an easy win in Arrowhead. They're going to be an easy win in wherever they play. But the Lions are different. Like the Detroit Lions are different. If you got to play the Detroit Lions at Arrowhead, now you might lose that game. You might lose to the Detroit Lions. I would rather play the Detroit Lions in Germany, where they're not at their best, and it's one-on-one where I take Patrick Mahomes over the Lions fan. I would rather it there versus play the Detroit Lions at home at Arrowhead, coming into the season, how good they're going to be. Don't forget, this Chiefs team almost lost to the Titans last year at home with Malik Willis at quarterback.
Right.
You
He's
can't.
dominated
You don't
them.
want to lose to the Detroit Lions at home at Arrowhead. You don't want that to happen. I think they're looking at it from that standpoint. I'd rather play the Chicago Bears at home, beat up on them, as opposed to play the Detroit Lions at home and lose to them.
Do you want me to read what Peter King says about this?
Of course.
Not so fast on the reports of Kansas City dominating the Germany games in 2023 and 2024. Kansas City is playing a November game in Frankfurt this year. That's a fact. But the German newspaper Bild reported KC would play Chicago in Germany and that KC would play in Germany again in 2024 when Carolina is due to host a game there. That German newspaper reported Carolina's game would be Kansas City. I've been told there's some doubt on both of those reports. When a team gives up one of its home games to play overseas, it has the option of requesting to the league one home game on the schedule the team does not want to be moved. I'm told that game for Kansas City is Chicago.
Wow.
As for 2024, it's hard to imagine Carolina would not try to keep Patrick Mahomes on their scheduled list of games because they wouldn't play, Kansas City wouldn't play in Carolina for 8 years.
Yeah.
So there is some question whether or not Kansas City is going to play in 2024, and they don't want to play Chicago. I don't know, but then you think, so is Kansas City going to give up a home game against Philadelphia, against Cincinnati, against Buffalo?
Wow.
They're taking Detroit. Detroit's going to go overseas.
Yeah. That sucks.
I mean,
As long as it don't cost us a home game.
No, it'd be
I'll
a road
go.
game. It'd be a road game
regardless.
Anyway. It'd be a
Yeah.
road game anyway.
That's fine.
I just
Not to mention, would you, if you're the Lions, would you rather play in Arrowhead
Yeah,
or would you rather play in Frankfurt?
I'd rather go to Germany.
Well, did you see when the report happened that I don't know if you guys caught this, but when the report happened that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to play Chicago in Germany, Amon Ra quote tweeted that with a sad face. It sounded like he wanted to go to Germany to play
Okay.
the Chiefs. So maybe this is something that
travel.
the team wants.
People want to travel. I mean, that's what a lot of the younger players do. That's one thing I wish I would have done more when I played in the league is go overseas, go travel in the offseason, go see the world. Like, guys want to get out here. That's what they do a lot in the offseason. So you're talking about a chance to go play an NFL game in Germany, Frankfurt. It's a hot place right now. It's a hot time. It's a very trending city. If you're one of the most expensive cities, but you go over there, they want to get out the country and go do some things. They just don't know how bad it is when you got to get over there. It's not as much fun as you think.
I remember last year in Germany because we were doing a Lions pregame. It was the Giants and Packers. Giants knocked off the Packers there. That place was hopping, man. The crowd was into it. It was great.
They sold out of tickets in like a minute.
I would not mind if the Lions had to go there. You know what? Then they get it over with. I don't want to go next year when they have to lose a home game. I don't want to lose a home game.
It kind of sounds like that, right? I mean, they're due.
Get it over with.
They're true for a trip overseas, and I do think they would have a better shot of beating Patrick Mahomes in Germany than they would at Arrowhead.
I'm with
and we
you.
talked about this last year as well. I think when the schedule came out last year, what's the one game we all pointed to and said they have no chance to
Chiefs.
win? No, it was the
last
Buffalo
year.
Bills.
Oh,
It was the Buffalo
right.
Bills on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
And what happened? They should have won the game. So I'm not going to be so quick to point out the Kansas City Chiefs here as a football team that they can't beat. If there is one game on their schedule that I would say they have very little chance of winning, it would be Kansas City, but I'm not going to limit this football team in 2023. I'm not going to sit here and do that. Now, if you put that graphic back up, Fletch, that Pro Football Focus said about who's going to win the NFC, if this was the AFC, the Lions would not be on this graphic.
Of course not.
That's just the way it is. The AFC, out of 16 teams, they're sitting at least 10 deep.
Wow.
I think 10 teams in the AFC, you could make the case for. You could make the case that 10 teams in the AFC could win the AFC and advance to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure you can do that in the NFC, but that's why the Lions window has been accelerated because of how weak the perceived conference is, Bray.
And you know why that is? We're all the best quarterbacks. They are all in the AFC.
No doubt.
When you break down a list, when you do a list of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, most of them are in the AFC. In this conference, in the NFC, you got Jalen Hurts, who's new to the list, and still, even though he finished runner-up last year for MVP, most people still would take a lot of quarterbacks over Jalen Hurts because it's just that dumb. You got Jalen Hurts, you have Matt Stafford, who was injured last year, and you have who else?
Jared Goff.
Like I said, who else?
Yeah.
But he's one of them 100%, but that's three quarters. We're struggling to find three. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins. Like, when you mention those two guys, you're
That's
like,
the next level down.
exactly. Yeah. You go to that AFC side, you got Trevor Lawrence, there's Joe Burrow, there's Patrick Mahomes, there's Josh Allen, Russell Wilson. What's he going to be this
Aaron
year?
Rodgers.
Aaron freaking Rodgers is over there now. Tua, when he's healthy, is the most efficient quarterback in the NFL. Tua's over there. When you go to that AFC side, all the best quarterbacks are over there. That's why it's a gauntlet over there. In NFC, like you said, the quarterback play is what makes the Detroit
By the way,
Lions
quiz
accelerate
question
faster.
for you guys before we get off Germany. The old European, NFL Europe.
Frankfurt Galaxy.
Yes.
Is that what you were going to ask?
Yeah. I was going to ask, who is the Frankfurt team?
That
man,
is so awesome.
3 years of doing the show together, brother. I know
All
you.
right.
I know you.
Guys, I want to stick with the NFL and keep it in terms of Patrick Mahomes because there's a couple of aspects of Patrick Mahomes. He could very well soon be the 7th highest paid quarterback in football. If you're the owner, do you open him up? That's number one. And two, do you open up his contract and renegotiate against yourself? And two, does offense beat defense? Does a good offense beat a good defense? Everybody always talks about how good defense can beat a good offense. Nick Saban, not so sure about that anymore. Tell you about what he said and if you agree with it. But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, Big Boy, let's get it going. It's Strawberry Fest. It is back at your local Big Boy. If you want to try breakfast first, get on down there for the strawberry hot cake or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you want a little lunch or dinner, how about it? The strawberry bacon chicken wrap or a nice salad, the refreshing summer splash salad, and those desserts are to die for. The very delicious classic strawberry pie, the deep fried vanilla Oreos, or why not try the hot fudge cake with a little strawberry on top? It's Strawberry Fest at Big Boy.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Believe it or not, it could be very soon where Patrick Mahomes is the 7th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. You look at Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson's in AFC.
And then
him.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Joe Burrow and Herbert are
Herbert's
coming
in
up,
the
and
AFC.
they will get in excess of $50 million. If you are the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, the general manager, when it was signed, and we talked about this a little bit last week, the owner of the Chiefs says, look, no matter what we pay Patrick Mahomes, he's always going to be underpaid because you cannot quantify his value for our team, for our city, and the NFL. When he signed a 10-year, $450 million deal, it looked like the biggest deal in sports. It is now not that. In what world are we living in where Patrick Mahomes is the 7th highest paid quarterback in that league, and it could happen by next year? I would open him up. I would open up that contract, and I would say, you know what? You will always be, even if it's like a Nick Saban deal, you will be the highest paid quarterback in football no matter what. If it's a $1 more, we'll just keep upping your status to make you the highest paid quarterback.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a toughie right there.
It's extremely tough, and Patrick Mahomes has the pleasure and displeasure at the same time of having success early. That's why this happens to you. He won the Super Bowl before his second contract. Before he's renegotiated, signed his second deal. He won the Super Bowl already, so he's already had success. So he sees as a player that you have success. Well, he sees as a player the importance of having the right people, the importance of saying, you know what, I could take a cut here because we need this left tackle. I could take a cut here because we need this player. Not as long as it's not too much, but he sees the importance of winning, because as you win, here comes Tag Heuer. Here comes this company. Here comes that company. I don't know why Tag popped in. Maybe because all the quarterbacks, I think Eli and Peyton used to use Tag. But anyway, he sees the importance. Same thing happened with Tom. Tom was on his second and third deal before he became Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady until 2007 when they went undefeated, and then after that. But by then, he already saw the importance of getting people in there. That's how you need to win. So I don't know if I would necessarily open it back up. But at the same time, there are other ways to pay Patrick Mahomes. There are other ways and other things I think where they can figure out. And that's why I'm saying the displeasure side is a lot of guys, when they don't win, they get paid. Look at all the guys that make these buku contracts. Lamar Jackson's never been to a conference finals, if you will. So it's one of those situations where sometimes when you don't have success early, you get paid more. But I wouldn't open it back up.
All right, let me take you back to 1980s, okay? A man named Magic Johnson signed a 25-year, $25 million contract. Do you remember that?
I do.
Everyone was like, wow.
I watched it on Winning Time.
Wow. What are you kidding? $25 million? Yeah. He signed early. Then along came other guys that signed bigger contracts. Sorry, Rye. Mahomes signed the deal when he signed it. That's it. I'm not opening up his contract again. I just gave him a 10-year deal. He's getting $50 million a year or whatever the hell it is.
So
I'm not opening it up again.
So again, number one, if this is the only player in sports that I would do this for, by the way.
All right.
But you're opening up Pandora's box.
But again, this is the only player in sports I would do this for. I think he's that good.
Why not give him a percentage of the team?
Well, I don't know how that works.
No way.
I don't think you can do that with an active player. Because I think that, and I could be wrong on that, but I heard that as a possibility, and I don't know if you could do that with an active player.
Conflict of interest?
Something
because it's like you paying yourself.
Some sort of NFL rule. I believe that's the case. I'd have to look it up, but I don't think you can do that. What you could do is, as the salary cap increases, instead of giving a dollar amount, give a percentage amount. You will always be 25% of the salary cap.
Yeah.
You could do that, I think, with a guy like Patrick Mahomes, or at least in good faith. When you have a player like Mahomes, and again, you could talk about Burrow, and you could talk about Herbert, and you could talk about Lamar Jackson, and you could talk about all these other guys you want. He's the one that's winning.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the one that's winning. You can put up all these numbers and be MVPs and all that stuff, but he's the one that's winning. So he's the reason why you get a deal. He is, to me, the most special player in all of sports.
He's second. Don't forget about the pitcher/home run hitter.
Shohei Ohtani. Right. Okay,
I got you covered, man.
And you know, Connor McDavid could probably be in there. If you care about hockey, you know what so that's what I would do. And then I would ask him, what do you want to do? I would literally, what do you want to do? Do you want to keep this contract? If you keep this contract, we'll have a better opportunity to pay other players and build a team that's suitable for you and for a Super Bowl championship? Or do you want to be the highest paid guy? But I would leave that up to him. I think that much of Patrick Mahomes.
You know what happens at the end of every NFL season? I'm pretty sure they do it across the sports world. At the end of every NFL season, they're closing meetings. Now, only certain people meet with the owner as part of it as well. You meet with your position coach, you meet with your coordinator, and then you meet with the head coach. How did the season go? What did you like? What didn't you like? What are your plans? Blah. A lot of small talk. Usually it's on losing, whatever. But some people get a chance to sit down and talk to the owner. And if I'm Patrick Mahomes, or if I'm the Hunt family, and I would talk to him every year and just ask him, hey, what do you want? What would you like? Like you said, because at the end of the day, we're speculating on what Patrick Mahomes may want, what Patrick Mahomes may be thinking. Maybe Patrick Mahomes is the one that talks to the Hunt family and said, look, I enjoy winning. Because we don't see, you see Patrick Mahomes a little bit after they win. You
right, like 450 is enough for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, he might be this guy. And his dad played professional ball. His dad played at the highest level. His dad was like, look, you don't need but so much money. You don't need to bankrupt this team. You're having success and you're enjoying it. When you win, you're valuable. He's been on every TV show known to man. He does it. But once the offseason happens, Patrick Mahomes disappears kind of sort of. He's in Kansas City just chilling. He's chilling with his wife. He's chilling with his son. He's laid back and relaxed. He lives a very basic life for the most part. His name is just Patrick Mahomes. So 450 might be more than enough for him. And it might be people like us, me and you, speculate like, that's not enough money. He might be cool with $450 million.
That's right.
You know why? Because we talk about him because all he does is win, no matter what.
That's
and
right.
you know what he does? He does good things with his money. He's a part owner of the Kansas City Royals. He knows what to do with his money, like Tom Brady knew what to do with his money. So when it comes down to it,
it's good business, man.
Guys like this, good business people, they're fine with what they're making.
Fletch, you had a question?
Yeah, I hope I can drive the conversation here a little bit. I know in other sports, I don't know if the NFL works this way, but if you're making the playoffs, you're winning Super Bowl MVP, you're getting more money, right? So you're going to get the bonus at the end of the season. Who's to say that this $45 million contract that allows him to win these games, he's still making more than these other quarterbacks because Joe Burrow's not going to the Super Bowl. He's not winning MVP. He's not in all of these commercials. So Isn't he making more money at the end of the day?
He's making more money, and they're called escalators. Basically, they're incentive and they're escalators. So basically, when he wins an MVP, he gets probably $2 million extra dollars or $3 million extra dollars. When he wins the Super Bowl, it's probably another $2 million in there somewhere. Super Bowl MVP. So there are a lot of incentive and escalators. Fletch, great question, but at the same time, that's if that happens. Like that's if you win the Super Bowl, if you win MVP, as good as he is. That MVP is about, like, he's not going to win that every year. The NFL does a great job with the exception of Aaron Rodgers. They're not giving the MVP to the same person every year. They're going to kind of balance it around. So he's not going to win that every year. Maybe you have, if I finish runner-up or higher, I get paid such and such. There are ways to do that. But even with that, that's just different because in the playoffs, everybody's getting the same amount of money. And then if you get to Super Bowl, it's if.
Let me move it forward this way. So Nick Saban said that he believes that offense now wins championships. This was Nick Saban. This is a tweet from James Light. Nick Saban on the evolution of the modern offense. Quote, "It used to be that good defense beats good offense. Good defense doesn't beat good offense anymore. It used to be if you had a good defense, other people weren't going to score. I'm telling you, it ain't that way anymore." End quote.
Two scenarios. The two examples that come to mind first. One of them has to do with Alabama. Who's been the best defense in the country in college football for the past 2 years? You shouldn't have
Georgia.
There you go. 2 years ago, Georgia almost lost that national championship game. Why? It wasn't because Alabama had a good defense. It's because they had Bryce Young at quarterback and they had Jamison Williams at wide receiver. That offense almost beat that great defense 100%. Look this year. Who had the best defense in football?
Georgia.
And guess what? They almost lost to what?
Ohio State.
They had what? One of the most potent offenses in football. Look at the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles by far had the best defense through the season, right? And who had the best offense? The Kansas City Chiefs. What did that Super Bowl look like?
In the second half, the Chiefs scored on every possession.
Nick Saban is absolutely right. Offense now can beat defense. It is no longer defense wins championship.
That's why Ryan and I have always said, we got offense. Add to it. Add to your offense. And that's what the Lions did in the first round.
I swear. I'm not going to sit here and say I told you so because
I told you.
I really believe that. The more offense you have, and this guy, Patrick Mahomes, changed everything. He did. He changed everything.
You got to look at him. Can we beat him?
In a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And if you are not trying to beat Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl, then I don't know what you're doing. Because that's the goal, right? The goal is not to get the 7 seed and to make a wild card and lose in the first round. The goal is to win a Super Bowl. Can you compete with Kansas City? Can you compete with Buffalo? Can you compete with Baltimore?
Yeah.
Can you compete with Cincinnati?
100%. 100%.
And that's why they went out there and got Jahmyr Gibbs.
Wide receivers, he's absolutely 100% right. This isn't even a question. This is more so of us talking about why he's right. Look at what wide receivers go for on the open market now that are super, super talented. First of all, Christian Kirk went for $22 million a year last year. Look at what Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill both garnered in the trade. 2 first-round picks. Both of those guys make $30 million a year now. That's quarterback money. That's quarterback trade talk. Like, that's what wide receivers are going for now. Offense wins championships, and everybody knows it.
You know, with that being said, Braylon,
offensive coaches.
With that being said, there's a situation going on right now with your former team, the New York Jets. They have a star defensive lineman. His name is Quinnen Williams, and they are not even close on an extension. There are some deals that other defensive tackles have gotten, really big deals that defensive tackles have gotten. We'll talk about that next and talk about, is there a potential trade that you would support in bringing Quinnen Williams here? Or is that Nick Saban quote that good defense does not beat good offense anymore, could that potentially be a reason why the New York Jets don't want to pay Quinnen Williams that type of money? I want to get your take on that next, but first a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference today. Visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or order online. They ship anywhere. Fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hour number 2, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got Fletch. We got JB. WoodwardSports.com for all the latest news, articles, updates, show clips, and merchandise. If you are watching on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that like button. I haven't asked you to do so yet today. Let's get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. That would be awesome if we could do that. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over 43,000 subscribers on that platform. We cannot thank you enough. Question we had coming into hour number 2 is in regards to Quinnen Williams. Okay, so he is the Jets' one of the best defensive tackles in the game, one of the best defensive linemen in the game. 12 sacks last year, an All-Pro for the first time ever. He wants a contract extension. Dexter Lawrence from his New York Giant counterpart just got 4 years, $90 million. And he wants a contract similar to that. They are far apart, if you believe reports, far apart on a new contract extension. Quinnen Williams and the New York Jets. Braylon Edwards, what say you?
2 things. One, the first thing is, yes, offense now wins championships. You need offense. But who was the interior defensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs last year? I believe he finished runner-up in Defensive Player of the Year, Chris Jones. You definitely still got to have defensive players. Jalen Hurts and the offense for the Eagles last year was spectacular, but that defensive line was rocking and rolling, and one of those guys just got paid out with the 49ers, Hargraves. You still got to have defensive players, and Quinnen Williams has every reason to want to get paid. You know why? The Jets were the number 4 ranked defense at the end of the season last year in its totality. Aaron Rodgers is smiling ear to ear, not only because he's got Garrett Wilson, not only because he's got an abundance of tight ends, not only because he's in the Big Apple, it's because he's got that defense, and it's anchored by Quinnen Williams. He's the best. Aaron Donald didn't have a good year last year, and he was injured, so I feel comfortable saying this. Quinnen Williams is the best interior lineman in the league last year. He had 12 sacks from the interior lineman position, lining up directly left of the nose tackle. So they're going to pay him. This is the other thing. We got to stop saying every time, and this isn't true, this is people, as soon as somebody gets free or there's some smoke in another city with a player, it seems like a player in the team, they have a rift going on, or somebody gets released, Detroit always is, should we bring this player to the Detroit Lions? Should we bring this player to the Detroit Lions? The Detroit Lions have now put themselves in a situation where we don't have to go looking for people's leftovers and trash anymore, although he's not that at all. Got to stop doing that. He's going to get paid. We saw Simmons got paid upwards of $23 million for the Titans, and I believe your boy Dexter Lawrence signed for $90 million. So these guys are getting paid. He's making $20 a year. Simmons is making $23. He's going to get paid. They just aren't where they are right now. I mean, it did take them 5 months to sign Aaron Rodgers. They're going to get him signed. It's going to happen. Everybody calm down. Quinnen Williams is not going to hit the market because when you got Aaron on that offensive side, now the offensive side is good. Quinnen Williams is the anchor for that defense. They're talking about Jets 9.5 or maybe even beating Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills, to win that division. You can't do that without Quinnen Williams. So they would go backwards. That's not the type of move you want to make if you're the Jets or anybody.
Jets will get it done. He's not
Exactly.
going anywhere. They drafted him. They brought him up. That Jet defense has kept them in all those games last year when they had no quarterback. Now they got their quarterback. Hell, man, they will not allow this to be a distraction much longer.
I wish they would let him go because that is exactly what the Detroit Lions need. But it'd be too much money. When you look at what Detroit Lions have now, what's going to happen about the next 2 years or a year, 2, 3, they wouldn't have enough money to pay for all that.
Look, this does feel like one of those manufactured topics you get in May.
Yeah.
It really does. But I did think it was interesting to mention that
contract.
Mention that contract really coming off that Nick Saban quote because, do you evaluate? I mean, is there one guy that you pay on each team, each defense? You just pay the one and then hopefully branch out everything from there? Because really all of your offensive players have to get paid the most now, it would seem like. You're paying wide receivers $20 million a year.
But that's what you're starting to see. I mean, look at the Lions. We talked about this a little bit last week. Look at how many one-year deals the Lions signed this year. They're signing. It's a plug-and-play system. Look at what the 49ers doing. Shoot, they spending so much money in Nick Bosa and Hargraves. They had to sign some plug-and-play players. They signed some one-year deals, some one-year contracts. That's going to be the way of the NFL now.
Including their quarterback.
You're going to pay. But, hey, Brock Purdy was a 7th rounder, and he would have won the Super Bowl. Well, he would have got to the Super Bowl if you would or had a chance to. They're going to pay 4 players a year. It's going to be at least 1 and 1. So you look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are always going to pay Patrick Mahomes. They're going to play Chris Jones. They're going to pay their left tackle, and they're going to play Travis Kelce. Everybody else, hey, you might not be here next year. It is what it is. Thank you for your service. Teams are going to start adapting that model, except for the Lions. The Lions are the only team right now that's doing it a little bit different, and that might not last for long. They just got lucky with a lot of rookie deals.
That's why and again, we'll say it, it's hard to pay a quarterback $40 to $50 million and keep the rest of your team. The Lions, the Bills come and due in the next couple of years where they got to pay.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see how far they can go this year. And, hey, if they win the Super Bowl, then go do whatever the hell you want.
And let's say this as well. The Lions are going to be mentioned with any big-time player that is on any sort of block. Cutting block, trading block, salary block, any kind of block.
But for how much longer?
But while they're, what do they got? $26 million under the cap.
Yeah,
they have space. I think they have the 3rd most cap room still in the NFL. They have the ability to get just about anybody they want.
True.
So that is why their name is associated with all of these players. Anybody that potentially can be seen as unhappy, trade bait, cut bait. Anything like that because of how much cap space they have. And they are in I would say, anytime you're in the position that the Lions are in, maybe you do just go for it. Maybe you worry about tomorrow, and you go for it today. Because when you're the Detroit Lions, it's not like you have too many times over the years been one player away.
Yeah.
And if there's a point during the season that you could get that one player, maybe there's an injury, maybe there's just a lacking somewhere, maybe you just throw your hands up and say, okay, I'm going to go get this guy.
Last year was the year.
It
truly was. I hate to say that, but they peaked last year. If there was if there was any way that they could have pushed the envelope last year, that was the year, because you don't know if you're going to get that kind of chemistry, everything together like that again. Right. They were peaking, and they would have rolled in the playoffs. I believe that.
Yeah, talk to the Carolina Panthers. It's that Carolina Panthers game, and you saw it. But
that killed them.
300 yards in the first half. That's why we needed Quentin Williams. But, yeah, Quentin Williams is a damn good player, and he's under contract this year with the New York Jets, and then they have the option of franchising him next year. So, to your point, you pick his contract up and do that maybe, but they're not going to let him go. But, Ryan, you got to have some play. You got to have a defensive player that is an all-pro figure. I'm not saying you got to have a good defensive player. Mm-hmm. You got to have one great defensive player. We're hoping Aiden Hutchinson can be that. We're hoping some other guys can be that. You need one great lineman. And right now for us, that's the potential of Aiden Hutchinson. And then you got to have a guy on the offensive side, preferably your quarterback, unless you're the 49ers.
No doubt. No doubt. So we'll keep an eye on that, guys. If I could just bring it to the college game for 1 second. Former Spartans quarterback Peyton Thorne.
There you go.
He made his announcement. Is that Cam Newton? Is that Cam?
little thin. But it did, though.
War, damn Eagle. Thank you, Lord. Auburn football is the place for Peyton Thorne, Braylon.
Hey, look, man, everybody, sometimes you need fresh starts. You got to get out of one spot and get to another. You look at Auburn. Hugh Freeze is now there. Hugh Freeze has had a lot of success at the college level, so he's a damn good coach. He goes down there. Sometimes you just got to get out of a bad situation. And Michigan State right now is a bad situation. I don't know. Well, we know what it's because of. But he goes down there to Auburn. He's in the SEC. He'll get a lot of eyes on him because Auburn plays every team that people are watching. The scouts are scouting. They're scouting the SEC like wildfire. So hopefully he has a good time down there in Auburn, but he's in a good space with a good coach, a proven good coach. Keep the word proven in mind.
2 years ago, I really thought Peyton Thorne was an NFL caliber quarterback. Did I get suckered? Because last year he really fell off.
You got suckered a little bit, but to your point, I thought that there was something there. To your point, I thought there was something there, much like a Brian Lewerke. I didn't think he would be as good as Connor Cook, but I thought he could be something like Brian Lewerke, something like a lower Connor Cook. Yeah. But it's K9. Like, you start to go back. You watch with K9. We keep bringing his name up because he keeps being relevant. What K9 allowed them to do in the play-action passing game, they had a nice trio of wide receivers as well. Jaden Reed, Keon Coleman. The other one eludes me. I think he's in Minnesota. But they had the trio of wide receivers. The play-action goes well. They played a favorable schedule. So he did look a lot better. Last year, he really showed. He really struggled a lot. The Michigan State team struggled a lot, and they want to move off of him. Kim, even with the same team last year, Maz, when Kim would come into the game, and it wouldn't be garbage minutes, he would be playing some regular minutes. Kim looked like a much better quarterback, and the offense was much better when he was in there. So it was Peyton Thorne. It was time for him to go. And at least he goes to a school where they've had some success in their draft.
Hell yeah.
So. Hey, did you see who contacted Keon Coleman in their transfer portal?
Jim Harbaugh?
Deion?
The University of Michigan. How great would that be?
That's a petty move.
How great would that be?
That would be pimp move. That's a pimp move.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? I mean, would that be the ultimate?
Yes.
So to take your best player.
Like that.
I mean, Keon Coleman's their best player. We just took your best player.
Like, that is I really want to flip the camera off and show you. That's exactly what that is. Like, that's a FU moment. That's all them cigars you were smoking in the locker room.
What are the odds on that?
That's not going to happen. Because
I heard he might go back to Michigan State.
But they do that now. Basically, a lot of times.
With no quarterback? Now you're a wide receiver going to go now with no quarterback?
No, I'm not saying he's going back, but I'm saying guys go back because what they do is they just open up for testing. And if nobody takes the bait, well, it's like you got to go back. Keon Coleman's a damn good wideout. Somebody's going to take the bait. It won't be Michigan because I think when you hate a team, he's been through a lot against Michigan, whether it was the tunnel situation, whether it was the year before, whether it was the year before that. He's been through too much to ever like Michigan.
All right, just wanted to put it out.
It's funny.
That would be fun.
I wanted to put it out there in the atmosphere. Guys, we're going to go around the NFL.
Coming.
We're going to go around the NFL next. Is Tom Brady out of the booth even before he got in the booth? We'll go around the NFL, get you the latest news and notes from that league. But first, a message from Cousins Maine Lobster.
Cousins Maine Lobster, cousinsmainelobster.com. The best of Maine, the best seafood in Maine. It's right here in Detroit, USA, with those two food trucks rolling around the city. Click on that QR code right now. It'll take you down to cousinsmainelobster.com, and you can download their app, check out their schedule, find out where these trucks are. And if you order ahead and go pick up your food, you start getting points and start saving money. Our own Lindsey Hunter is a big fan of Cousins Maine Lobster. I think you will be too. Check them out. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Woodward Sports content, head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Got to double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers. And if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards on a beautiful Monday. Sitting here, I'm Braylon Edwards, Ryan to be back. Maz, Keon Coleman.
Yeah, man.
He's a good wide receiver.
I know. I was asking how you compare him, and I threw out Ronnie Bell's name. I don't know. How do you compare a Keon Coleman?
I think he's faster and quicker. I think he's quick. I don't know if he's quicker. He's faster and I think more explosive than Ronnie Bell, but similar receiver. Really good hands. He high points the football. Huge athletic upside to Keon Coleman. You didn't have any ice in there? Is that why you made that face?
Yeah, I did.
I saw it. Soon as I saw the face, I was like, "Oh, it's
good,
no ice in it." I knew it was no ice.
You are good.
I knew it was no ice.
How long do you think I got?
I know, bro. I
How long do
appreciate
you
it.
think these breaks
I had
are?
Ryan.
5 minutes long?
Ryan had to go to the men's room. I'm like, hey, can you fill up my water? We got
No-
the little fountain in the
no
back,
ice.
but this has we have the quickest melting
the worst
ice
ice.
in the country.
Mine is still in
Right
there.
here,
I
at
got
Birmingham
some-
Roads.
Anyway,
Side
Anyway,
note, that
so
before we go around NFL,
there's the
match,
water. What it looks like. No ice. No ice.
How long do you think it's gonna be before the word SHIT becomes a word that you can use? Because everyone uses it now in press conferences. Everyone uses it now on TV. Remember I guess I can say it, bitch. Like that's a word you can use to a certain extent. On TV, they don't bleep out that word when you're watching Fox, when you're watching NBC, ABC. They don't bleep out that word anymore. They use that word so much now in sports. I'm
Shit's
like,
making a comeback.
there it is.
you guys are terrible, man. All that cussing. All that cussing.
Listen, man, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
He started it.
We apologize. All right, man.
He started it. Hey, let's go around the NFL, shall we? Hey, first of all, if you watched the Kentucky Derby on Saturday, they had a piece on Secretariat. Secretariat, the greatest racehorse of all time. His record is still standing after 50 years. You think everything gets better and better and better, players get better, equipment get better. Horses don't get better than this thing. This guy was a machine. So they did a piece on him. And who voiced it? None other than Tom Brady.
Really?
Was
Yes.
it good?
It was great. It was great. Now I say
Isn't
Tom
that NBC?
It was NBC. So that brings me to this.
Uh-oh.
Last week, Andrew Marchand of the New York Post put this tweet out, and he said Tom Brady might be quitting his job at Fox before it even starts. Dov Kleiman, of course, our good friend, put it out. So here is what Andrew Marchand said on his podcast. We'll play a little bit for you. Can we do that?
Fluctuates. Now,
here we go.
It was at 51% that he's going to do it to 49%. With the reasoning, it's so much money, he'll try it for a year. However, I talked to a couple of people recently close to Brady, and I kind of feel like I'm going more 49% chance he does it, 51% chance he doesn't. I don't think he wants to travel that much. He's going to go private. I think Brady's a guy who, if he's in, he's all in. So he's not going to be showing up day of games like, Joe Buck and Aikman do sometimes. He's going to be there early if he's going to do it. So it's a 4-day event. Again, Crimea River for that type of money for 5.5 months. But I think, he shares his kids with Giselle. I think that's very important to him. And he can make money elsewhere. Now, 49-51. I feel like John King, is that the one on CNN?
Yeah, John King
on CNN,
Woodward,
and who's our guy on NBC?
Steve Kornacki.
Yeah, Steve Kornacki. So I feel like I feel like those guys, 49-51, Brady not doing it at the moment, fluctuating.
Just them talking about it, I'm telling you, he already put it off for a year.
Before we get to the nuts and bolts of that, I just want to. When I was looking at him, I couldn't help his face. He looked like a thumb.
What's he look like?
He looked like a thumb.
A thumb.
Like he looked like this with glasses. Do me a favor, man. Put that. I mean,
fluctuate.
He looks like a thumb.
Man,
I know that's terrible, but
that's terrible.
I'll let you guys get back into that. He looked like a thumb now. I'm sorry.
I just like how he got so giddy when he talked about CNN and MSNBC.
It's like, wow, who are our guys? Who is it? John King?
Guess we know which way you lean.
Politics, baby.
So anyway, Tom Brady comes back and he says, "That's fake news." He tells TMZ, "That's fake news.
Fake news.
I'm gonna go." I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going.
You have said that for a while.
Yes.
Now, I think he is. I don't care how much money you have. There aren't many jobs on the planet you can make $37.5 million per year.
That's more than Jared Goff, by the way.
For about 5 months.
I know.
5 or 6
But
months.
it's going to be more than that, Ryan. They're going to use him more.
I understand. For the one-offs, and maybe you got to go to attend a sponsored dinner or an advertiser dinner or something like that. You're talking $37.5 million.
That's more than he made with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I would assume.
That's more than he ever made in his playing career in any one year.
For 5 months. Like 100%. And also,
even if it's 6 months, even if it's 10 months.
It's a year, even if it's 12 months. But I look at it from this standpoint in terms of why he would. If he didn't do this, it will be seen as him pulling out of the deal. This on the heels of him getting divorced. Whether it was his fault or not, he's going to get the blame because he's the man. So it's like he just got divorced. Now he's pulling out of the Fox deal. That makes him look erratic. And somebody like Tom is flush. He's put together his life very meticulously. He's done everything the right way. Divorce and then this situation, he couldn't take 2 hits like that back to back. So I think he will be locked in.
The only thing I could think of,
politics.
No, as for Tom Brady not to take this deal is if he doesn't believe he can be great at it.
There's another reason. What is it? What if he's a team owner, a part of a team owner?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Miami.
Maybe, potentially, could be. We don't know.
I'll make you a gentleman's bet. He ain't doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't bet anymore.
That's a gentleman's bet.
I know. So I don't do that anymore either.
All right, I'll bet Braylon through you. Then.
Okay, very good.
I'll bet you.
Gentlemen,
you are not very gentlemanly like.
I apologize.
Yeah,
I didn't mean anything by it.
That I can tell you.
Okay.
But nonetheless, yeah, I don't know. Hey, just to circle back for a second.
Yeah.
This is totally off topic, but you brought up Secretariat in the Kentucky Derby.
So then it's kind of on topic.
What happened with these horses that died over the week?
Like, I wish I could tell you.
Did they die after racing?
I'll explain it to you. There were a couple that passed away after they worked out, like after a practice.
That raced?
I'm giving you. There was 7 horses that died in the week. Damn. 7. 2 of them died after workouts. Went back to their barn, and they died like a heart attack. The other 2 broke down on Derby day, in races prior to the Derby. One horse flipped over, and broke his neck.
All this happened in Kentucky?
At Churchill Downs. And the other horse died of a broken front leg. Those things, they happen. It's like 1.5 deaths in 1,000 for racehorses.
All the same week though?
This week, everything happened this week. 2 horses for this one trainer died. That wasn't at Churchill Downs, but he had 2 horses that were going to run in the Derby. They did not allow him to put those horses in the Derby. They scratched his horses for precautionary reasons.
Because this whole stable would have been depleted.
They don't really know what happened, Ryan. I wish I could tell you. I've been watching horse racing my whole life, and some tragedies happen.
What happened to Forte?
Forte stepped on a rock on Wednesday.
He was the favorite.
He stepped on a rock on Wednesday. And they tested him on Saturday morning at like 8 in the morning. And when they touched his hoof, he winced.
Yeah.
So it wasn't healed. So they scratched him. They scratched him. And that's the only chance that he could run.
Yeah, 3-year-old,
in the Derby.
right?
But you know what? They're going to be careful, especially now.
Sucks, man.
You wouldn't even hear of this, really, if it wasn't for social media and this cancel culture that we're in, because it's happened for the past 110, 120 years.
Peter.
Yeah.
We got it.
I mean, there was a show on HBO called Luck. Al Pacino was in it. Horse racing. It was great.
How long ago?
5 years, 6,
years.
maybe 10 years ago. Not even. But anyway, some of the horses, I don't want to sound like I don't give a shit. I do. I can't.
I told you that word was going to be legal.
My heart breaks.
I told you that word
My
was
heart
gonna be
breaks
legal.
when a horse breaks down.
Yeah.
Breaks. But a couple of the horses broke down during filming. So PETA got involved. They had to cancel the show. The show was canceled, although it was very highly rated and very real. Really great to watch if you're a horse fan.
Well, the hell with PETA.
Nonetheless, these things happen, and it sucks.
It does suck. You know what it reminds me of, and I know we cut into a commercial. It's kind of like the Olympics. Like, these horses wait 3 years. They wait 3 years to run in this event, and they only have that event. It's like the Olympics. I saw a racer from China, and when the Olympics was in Beijing in 2008, with the best hurdler in the world, Lu Zhao, I believe, pulled his hamstring in Beijing as the favorite to win. Never ran in another Olympics.
Isn't that something?
Terrible.
Maz is out here killing horses. Thinks
I
it's
know.
cancel culture.
You know how many friends of mine just write me, "Hey, nice sport. Why don't you go kill some more animals?" Go to hell.
Terrible, man. All right. I'll get back to the NFL. We'll circle back to the
They'll meet you there.
NFL. But first, the message from Planet Fitness.
Did you get your ass fixed today?
Yes, it's Planet Fitness. Now, we all know Planet Fitness is a judgment-free zone where you can work out for just $10 a month.
Only $10.
Yes, only $10. But now, Planet Fitness is thrilled to allow high schoolers ages 14 through 19 in the U.S. and Canada to work out for free all summer long from May 15th through August 31st with the Planet Fitness High School Summer Pass, which offers a solution for teenagers to stay active during the summer when school is out. Teens can register now and officially gain access to the club on May 15th, with registration open all during the summer months through August 31st. Now remember, teens under 18 in the U.S. and under 19 in Canada must register with the parent or guardian in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential.
Yes.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Oh my God, I can't.
How did you even say that with a straight face?
I cannot.
Aren't you glad you stayed today?
Oh my God.
Aren't you glad you stayed?
Oh my God.
The show's back, by the way. What's going on?
Oh, we're back.
Ermanni and Edwards with Maz in the second hour of the show. We're just having some fun, man.
Unbelievable.
Just three guys that don't take themselves that serious.
Fortunately or unfortunately. Guys, we'll get back to the NFL, some news and notes. We had mentioned Dexter Lawrence, Maz. The Giants re-signing him for $4
They did. There was a little infighting going on. Remember I was telling? It was once Daniel Jones got his money, Saquon's lining up, Dexter Lawrence is lining up. Who'd they pay, Braylon?
They paid Daniel Jones.
And they paid Dexter Lawrence.
100%, because without Dexter Lawrence and that defense last year, that team doesn't sniff 5 wins. Without that defense last year, Dexter Lawrence, especially that defensive line, they wouldn't even be in the play for more. Giants star defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence has earned 4 years, $90 million, extension with $60 million of it guaranteed to make him the highest paid defensive lineman in one of the highest paid defensive linemen in NFL history. And Lawrence gets the bag.
Now, will Saquon get paid? That's the question.
The only reason he may get paid, without Saquon Barkley, that offense is ugly.
It's a zero.
That offense is
terrible.
terrible.
Now they got themselves Darren Waller.
Yeah, Yeah, they got Darren Waller, but they got a quarterback that had 15 touchdowns in 17 games.
The Raiders had Darren Waller, too.
Exactly.
I understand.
So I just think what he did last year, he didn't throw a lot of interceptions. He got better. But he had 15 touchdowns. Like, that's like some high school stuff. You got to pay Saquon Barkley. Because without Saquon Barkley, that offense doesn't go. He accounts for all the touchdowns and move them in the red zone. He won the freaking Commanders game by himself. At the end of that game, remember the game, the referee game?
Oh, yeah.
Saquon Barkley won that game for the offense. So him and the refs.
All right, here's one for you guys. The Panthers signed former Eagle running back Miles Sanders. The reason I bring this up is
this really adds to the legend of Howie Roseman.
Look what Philadelphia is paying Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift.
So here's the deal. The Panthers signed Miles Sanders, former Eagles running back, 4 years, $25 million in free agency. He got $13 million guaranteed. The Eagles' replacements of DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny will make $3 million less this year combined.
Yes.
Philly is paying $10 million less than if they re-signed Sanders.
Yes.
So would you rather Miles Sanders or DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny and $10,000 less, or $10 million less?
And they still have Boston and Gainwell. The thing about this, though, that makes it, the reason why I understand it, Miles Sanders last year had 1,200 yards. He had 1,269. He had 11 touchdowns. He had, I think he had just over 1,500 yards, total yards from scrimmage, and I think he ended up with 16 touchdowns or 15 touchdowns. If you're the Carolina Panthers, you just drafted Bryce Young as your quarterback. He's a young quarterback. They have a good offensive line. The Detroit Lions found that out last year the hard way. You got to get a running back, and you get a running back that has the type of output because it makes the transition for Bryce Young so much easier. So it's $13 million, but it's $13 million that you got to spend if you're the Carolina Panthers, and it's $13 million if you're the Eagles that you don't have to spend because you don't need it. You got that team that runs through Jalen Hurts on offense.
I hope they crap out. I hope both those guys play 20% of the year, especially you know who.
It's your boy Swift.
Want to get Swifty.
Little crybaby.
That's for all my Rick and Morty fans out there.
All right, here's one for you. The Commanders.
This is interesting.
The Commanders were last year were checking out every other team. They were asking every team about their quarterback. But now this year they had a chance to draft a bunch of guys. Will Levis to be one of them. They said, no thank you. We are all in on Sam Howell.
So the report is that they were not tempted to pick Kentucky's Will Levis because they are all in on Howell. One team source said the only quarterback who would have been tempted is Tennessee's Hendon Hooker if they had the ability to take him in the third round. They were only going to take him in the third round, though, not higher. Now, also, did you see where Washington contacted the Bills last year to see if Josh Allen was available?
Yeah.
They contacted the Chargers to see if Justin Herbert was available.
Andrew Luck.
And Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
To see if he would come out of retirement. And apparently they graded out Sam Howell if he were to come out to this year's draft. Second to third round pick this year, Sam Howell.
If I'm looking at it from this, just looking at this, you know what this tells me? They're trying to do the same thing that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are trying to do. Maz, they're doing the same thing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are trying to do. And
Dump
what that
City.
is, organically tank. You organically tank. You look at the Washington Commanders, they're talking about, they didn't pick up Chase Young's fifth-year option, although I wouldn't either. He's going to be gone. They didn't pick up Montez Sweat. He's going to be gone. They're not trying to sign any quarterbacks. You know what that means? They're waiting for Caleb Williams out of USC or Drake May out of UNC next year. They are in the tank sweepstakes. They know they're not that good of a team. They're trying to start over. The owner's gone. Let's get rid of all these players and start over as well.
Isn't that something?
It sucks. Like I just hate. I've been on these teams. Now that I see how it's done, I can look back and pay attention where they organically tank. The Browns did it a couple of times when I was there. It would just suck to waste individuals' careers.
Yeah, what a year.
You're wasting.
You're going there knowing you're not going to win.
The NFL, baby. The NFL. They're the only people that tank. Like at least in the NBA, it starts off with, all right, we'll see if we got a chance. Oh, we suck. Okay, let's start tanking. NFL, man, they start taking from the beginning.
Sticking with the Commanders, since Daniel Snyder announced that they were going to sell the team, and it might sell at any time now for $6 billion, suites at FedEx Field and season tickets have gone through the roof. People are buying back into the Commanders.
Yeah, the culture that the culture that Snyder created, it's a horrible culture. Whether it was the work, whether it was inside the facility with the upper stairs level, the management level, administration, whether it was the locker room, whether it was between the players, whether it was the shape of FedEx Field and how old that field is and how that collapsed almost cost Jalen Hurts before he even got a chance to get paid. Last year, the stadium almost falls on him. Yeah. Up top, it fell on some fans. Yeah. Last year, they were completely out on Washington. It's all things. Now you move him. Now the team might get a new stadium. Everybody's back in.
Hey, man, you remember last week we broke down the Matthew Stafford trade? Once it was all over, the Lions had this player, this player, this player, and the Rams got their Super Bowl.
Yep.
Well, here is the breakdown of the Russell Wilson trade, which has finally got all the players there. Give them a read there, Bray, and tell me who won this deal.
All right.
You can look to your.
I just turn around. Okay, this will be fun. This is the full breakdown of the Russell Wilson trade last year. Seahawks received 5th overall pick, which is Devon Witherspoon this year. 9th overall pick, which is left tackle Charles Cross. 2nd round edge Boye Mafe, that was in last year's draft, Minnesota. So, by the way, these Seahawks picks that I'm reading off, this is last year's draft and this draft combined, by the way. So, Boye Mafe, you got Derek Hall in the 2nd round. You got Noah Fant, originally a 1st-round pick in 2019 out of Iowa. Shout out to the Iowa tight ends. Just had Big E in here this past Friday. Drew Lock, originally a 2nd-round pick in 2019. Shelby Harris and Tyreek Smith, linebacker. The Broncos received quarterback Russell Wilson and D.N. Iyomoa Uzurike, excuse me. Broncos also signed Wilson to a 5-year, $245 million contract extension after the trade, which the Seahawks avoided. Ladies and gentlemen,
oh my God,
this is a masterclass in fleecing.
This beats the Herschel Walker trade.
Oh, knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
This is a masterclass in fleecing. They were fleeced. And they were man.
That is major fleece.
If John Schneider, who is the GM, is Brian? I think it's Brian Schneider. Brian Schneider is the GM.
No, I think it's John.
It is John. I mean, he was my GM for a year. I should know. John Schneider. If he taught a master class in fleecing, guess who would be the first winner? It would be me. Look at all the picks that they got. Look at all the players that they got. Look how good that team was last year. They didn't even mention Geno Smith on there, but he didn't. Yeah, he wasn't a part of the deal. But he got out because of the deal. So
isn't that something?
That's tough.
And they put Geno Smith in place of Russell Wilson. He gets comeback player of the year.
If you're the Broncos,
goes to the playoffs.
If you're the Broncos front office, and Nathaniel Hackett, that's a part of it too.
Yeah.
If you're the Broncos and you're sitting there reading this as we're reading it, what do you do? Like, what do you say to yourself?
You hire Sean Payton.
There you go.
And that's what they did.
They're going to be a lot better this year.
They will be.
They still got fleeced. They lost. They will never, even if they win a Super Bowl, I don't think they can win this deal. Just think about that. Even if they win a Super Bowl, I don't think they can win this deal. Because they still owe him $245 million.
It doesn't matter, right? Hey, another Ravens signing. We're going to talk about the Ravens in a minute. I'm stalling time until Ryan gets back in here. But Ravens signed former Raider cornerback Rock Ya-Sin. 1 year, $6 million. So they're still signing players. And did you watch a video over the weekend of Zay Flowers?
Zay Flowers, yeah.
Did you see his cutting ability?
Yes.
Holy crow.
Yes. That is why the Baltimore Ravens are so excited about Zay Flowers.
Wow.
That is why this team, that's why I got him 5th. A lot of people were like, I still won't put him out there. He's going to be electric. And then you still have Rashad Bateman once he comes back from injury. You still have Duvernay. You also have Odell Beckham Jr. on $15 million. And then you have Lamar Jackson. This Ravens team, man, it's going to be fun to watch what happens in the AFC North this year. Sleeper division this year, the AFC North.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Sleeper division. You got
the Browns are back even.
You got, well, I hope so. But the Browns are back. They've made some moves. Obviously, Baltimore is making moves. We're talking about them now.
Bengals are the best team.
Bengals are the Bengals. And then you look at who. Baltimore. Steelers. There we go.
Yeah.
They actually have Steelers to lose that division this year. Steelers had a damn good draft. They made some damn good moves.
They're not going to win the division, though.
No, they're not. But they're not going to finish last.
Well, even if you finish last in that division, you still might make the playoffs. All 4 of those teams might make the playoffs.
In the AFC?
That's true. Yeah, that's
in
true.
the AFC?
You never know, though, Bray.
This is true.
You never know.
I would have to agree. Let's take a break right now. Let's come back. But first, let's give you a message from Alta.
Alta, at Alta, uptime matters.
It
You know
matters.
the deal. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. That's right. And if you got a big project coming up, give Alta Rental a call today. 844-GO-TO-ALTA. 844-GO, the number 2, Alta.
Alta.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Monday, how you guys doing out there? Appreciate the support. Do me a favor, take a second right now, subscribe, like the show if you do. We appreciate that. This show, it only works because of the fans of the Woodward Sports Network chat and all the support that you give us, so we appreciate it. Give us a like on all our social media platforms. Maz?
Yes, sir.
Sixers, something special happened last night at, what's Philly's arena called? It's something to do with money.
It used to be Wachovia. Now I don't know what the hell it's called, to be honest.
Isn't it Lincoln?
I still think it's the Spectrum.
Lincoln,
and the Spectrum's
that's
long gone.
That's Dr. J, right?
Yeah.
Lincoln is the football field. Lincoln
Yeah,
Financial.
Lincoln Financial. Wachovia Center? I have
it's not
no idea.
Is Wachovia still even a bank?
I don't even know.
People still bank in Wachovia?
I think
it's
the
is
Wells
it presidential
Fargo
something?
Wells Fargo. There you go. Thank you, JD.
I knew it was something to do with money.
Yeah.
There you
Wells
go.
Fargo. Something fun happened last night at the Wells Fargo Center involving James Harden. Matt, talk about it.
Hey, man, first of all, they got the win over the Celtics.
Yep.
By 1. They stayed alive in
Huge
overtime.
win.
So they're
James
down
Harden.
2-1. They're not going to win that series. Boston's going to win that series, if you ask me. But James Harden is a special guy. Very special. He understood one of the shooting victims at Michigan State, John Howe, who is right now in a wheelchair. And from what I understand, he is paralyzed from the chest down. But he's a big James Harden fan. James Harden reached out to him and his family when the kid was in the hospital, in rehab, fighting to get back and to live, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So he got to the game last night via James Harden, him and his family, sitting in the front row. Harden going over to him at the end of the night and signing his shoes and doing this. Check this out.
Game 6.
You gotta come back.
You gotta come back. I don't know what you got going on, what your schedule is, but Game 6, you gotta be back here. Because you the good luck charm, for real. I just kept thinking about it.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. Nah. Like we talked about last time, every day, right?
Yeah.
Every day is an opportunity to get better. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, all that. So just keep the right mindset. You know, I'm always praying for you. You know, I always got you if you need me. You know that?
Yeah.
Really. I'll be with the family.
Yeah.
Hey, seriously, Game 6.
This was completely special, man. You know, James
that
Harden.
something?
James Harden had 45 points in a win in the first game. He disappeared in games 2 and 3, wasn't playing well. And then in game 4, he has John Howe at the game, and then he performs 42 points. Joel Embiid, who did not play particularly well last night. James Harden put Philadelphia on his back with John Howe, gets 42 points and makes the 3 to win the game at the end and points to John Howe. So it was an amazing night for James Harden and good for him. He hasn't had the best luck in the playoffs. He's had some pretty poor playoff series in his career. Damn good to see him get the win, and damn good to see what he did.
I hope there will be a Game 6. I hope there will be a Game 6 for John Howe to go back and watch.
It's 2-2 now.
I thought it was 2-1.
2-2.
It's 2-2.
Oh, good.
They won 1
All right.
and they won 4.
There will be a game 6.
One of the things about this,
You did a story on this on Fox.
Yeah, I
didn't
did. And one of the things about this, Braylon, and we have talked about this, Maz, as you know, being a New Yorker.
Yep.
Sports has always been and will always be the great healer.
Yep.
You know, whether it's a baseball game at Yankee Stadium, a basketball game at the Breslin Center, a basketball player involved with James Harden. Sports has always been and will always be a great healer, and that's part of why we love the game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, as far back as you go, like sports and music have always been they're the great equalizers. You know, you look, you go back to what this country used to be, well, to a certain extent. You know, where it's like, oh, what? I don't like you. I don't like you. You're this color. You're that color. You play baseball? Wait. You play baseball?
Right.
I like baseball. Sport can always get over, I guess, differences, if you will. It opens up the conversation of, why don't I like this person? Or what's different about us?
Well, just look at a championship game or any game, right? You don't care what color somebody is.
Yeah.
You don't care what religion they are. You don't care how much money they have. You don't care where they live, what kind of car they drive. You don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. You don't care about that stuff. Maglia Ordonez hits a homer to send your team to the World Series. You're hugging and high-fiving and kissing babies and all that. You know,
it's like the scene in one of our favorite movies, Major League.
Yeah.
Remember they're celebrating in the bar. You got the guy that's got the spike mohawk. You got all different type of people.
Yep.
But speaking about healing, if you want to go just to that, it's 9/11. The infamous game with 9/11. It was the New York Yankees.
Yep.
The New York Yankees, like the country was...
President Bush threw out the first pitch.
Country struggling at that time. Country's going through it together. And in sport, it opens it back up. It
Best
gets people
first
together.
pitch ever.
100%.
I swear.
100%.
I tell my kids this too.
It is the best first pitch ever.
Oh, ever.
Yes.
He was great.
From the mound,
He was great.
on that stage and that pressure, and he threw a strike. Come on.
That was his finest moment as president.
With a bulletproof vest on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Imagine that.
The fact that the
and
fact
then they
that
lose the damn series.
That's a great 30 for 30.
The fact that he even went... Why haven't they made that one yet?
It is like a short, I think.
It is.
I watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't really dive into this. I don't like it. They could do something different.
Anyway, sports is
From
the
the
great
classroom
equalizer,
to that
man.
pitch.
You could be in any city.
Yeah.
Not home. You could be anywhere. Go to a bar, sit down, and you're watching a game, and you're talking to the people around you. That's what sports does, right?
I got a
That's
story.
what sports does.
I got a story for you without getting too deep into the story. Me and my dad, when I was younger, we were at odds. Shocking. What son isn't getting into it with his father when he's 14, 15, 16? But we went through a little period where we had a rough spot. We didn't talk for a while. Sport brought us back together. You know, sports always been that for me and my family. So sport will always be a part of my life, and I love it.
No doubt about it.
It's the best, man. Hey, what else did I have in there? I got Bronny James.
I was going to
for you.
ask about him. You know, that's really interesting.
I think it's a smart move for the kid. His dad's playing in L.A.
Right.
Bronny James commits to USC.
And you could go G League or something like that if you wanted to. You didn't have to go to college. But I am glad, you know, LeBron James, I've made no say. I'm not the biggest fan of LeBron James. I'm just not. Like, I respect LeBron. I appreciate LeBron. But what he said about his kid Bronny going to college and how proud he was, he is the first.
He didn't go.
He is the. I didn't consider that.
First one.
He is the first member of the James family ever to go to college, and he was so proud of that. How cool is that?
It's amazing. Speaking of kids, families in college, the Edwards family has another one across the stage. Shout out to my sister, Braylon Edwards. She graduated from the enemy, but I can support her. She went to Michigan State.
Shout out,
So
Brooklyn.
Braylon graduated Michigan State. Congrats.
Shout
I'll see
out,
you after the
Brooklyn.
show.
Absolutely.
But I was right and wrong at the same time. I said he was going to go to UCLA. But USC, he stays home. He gets a chance to go to the classroom. Gets a chance to hang out with some of his friends. I'm sure a lot of his friends from Sierra
Go to the
came.
game room.
Exactly.
Now, does he live in a dorm? Does he go to the dorm?
I don't think so.
How does Bronny James live in a dorm?
He lives with his dad.
You got to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you live in a?
No.
How do you go from that to living in a
Easy.
box?
Easy. Because you go out. when you get to college, it's a lot of fun. It's no parental guidance. It's no go to bed. It's no checking your phones. It's no checking what you're doing. It's no, hey, what are you doing at 1 in the morning? You can do whatever the hell you want to do in college, and all your friends are there. The dorm is like a 24-hour party. When I was my freshman year at Michigan, when I realized there were no parents around, when I realized like they weren't checking progress reports and things like that.
That late night cafe open till 2 a.m.
I'm trying to tell you, I would walk around West Quad like randomly at 2 in the morning. Who's up? What people doing? And you just go in people's rooms. Go in people's rooms. You kick it. You watch sports. Watch TV. College was fun. He's got to get that college experience. You can't go to college and then stay in a.
How good is this kid going to be?
He's a great college talent that I think with some development could be a good NBA role player. But he could be a role player in the NBA. I don't know how good. He's small.
That? How tough is that?
He's undersized.
How could he follow in this guy's footsteps?
His dad is 6'8.5". LeBronny's not 6'8.5". So I mean, he got the athleticism. To be honest, Bronny's as athletic as his father. I know you can't believe it, but he's just a lot shorter. He's as athletic. He has all the athleticism. He doesn't have the height. He can shoot better than his father did when he was his age. Now he can shoot better. LeBron James was 6'8" as a freshman. Bronny James right now, I think, is 6'2.5". It's a big difference. It's a big difference.
Guys, we're going to be back to wrap it up. Some really good stuff. Tigers in action as well. They got me to watch some baseball over the weekend.
Hooked you, huh?
This is a very important series against the Guardians. If early series...
It does mean something.
It does. Yeah. I mean, keep you going or not.
Look at the Rays, 27-7.
Ahead of a homestand. Let's see what they can do against the Guardians. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your parents, your wife, your girlfriend, your son, your daughter, whoever you want to give it to. That's up to you. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
WoodwardSports.com. Lots of love in this room. Everybody in this room feels like they're dealing with something.
Because we are.
And, yeah, it's been a rough go of it for a lot of us in here lately. But we come here and we talk about sports, and it just gives us a little piece of peace.
Yeah.
Peace. Yeah.
And then
for a couple hours.
It's when you're going through stuff, you gotta be around friends. You gotta be around good energy, man. I was on my way here. I was, just going through it, whatever. And I called Jeff, best friend. Shout out to Jeff. Hit Jeff up. Got me stopped even thinking about it. We were talking about DTE Energy and JP Morgan in the 1800s. Like the conversations, and you got to be around people that you love and good people, man. Good energy.
Without question. Yeah. Shout out to Fletch and JB today as well.
Been awesome.
They've been fantastic, and we've had a hard couple of weeks around here, and you guys are great. Just wanted to say that. Tigers baseball. They're on the road in Cleveland to face the Guardians for a series now. And I do think this is a very important series as we get into May here. And are they going to win the division? Probably not. Are they going to make the playoffs? Probably not. But at the same time, you don't want them to lose 100 games either. You want this team to grow. You want them to play competitive baseball. You want them to keep you interested. And they have hooked me. This baseball team has hooked me. Now, yesterday was a total debacle against the St. Louis Cardinals. Gave up 7 runs.
Start off good.
In the 7th inning. They were down 3-0 back-to-back days. One on Saturday. Lost yesterday. But they did come back to take the lead 6-3.
Grand slam, Jake
Yeah,
Rogers.
absolutely. 3-2, 2 outs.
3 homers by Goldie, though.
Yeah,
Goldschmidt.
hard to beat. But 4 errors in the game yesterday. You're just not going to get that done. But the Tigers are 3 games under 500 right now, as I mentioned, on the road for a series with the Guardians before they come home this weekend. If they can win a series against Cleveland, you might see Comerica Park on a beautiful weekend to kind of start seeing some fans return. Hey, I like these guys. I could root for these guys. Pretty
I told
exciting
you there was
stuff.
something about this ragtag team that I kind of like. There's some players on here that I like.
I agree with both of you guys 100%. You know, Ryan, you said last year, and you said it again before the season started, talking about, look, you guys don't have to go win the division for it. You guys don't have to win 100 games. Make it competitive. For every series you lose, win a series. You know, for every couple games you lose, win some games. You'll be 500 at some point. Be maybe a couple games over, but a couple games under. And that is what they are doing right now. They need to win this series, and you know why? Cleveland, no matter what the year is, Ryan, they always start off slow. Cleveland is a team that starts off slow in the beginning, and they pick up steam, and they finish strong every year. You got to get them now. Take them out of it. By this, I told you where I think they're going to be in the end of June. I said they were going to be 0. I didn't say they were going to win the division, but I think at the end of May, they will be potentially no games behind. It starts today.
Tigers are 3 games back of first place Minnesota. They're 2 games back in the loss column.
They're in the perfect division.
Yeah.
They're in the perfect division.
True.
There's no doubt. And
They
sometimes
can stay.
you
They
get
can
a
keep
little
it
luck.
going.
They look like a professional team.
Look, they put together 2 or 3 5-game win streaks.
It's 2
already.
They got 2. Yeah,
They got 2 5-game win streaks already.
That'll keep you alive.
Yeah.
Javi Baez looks like a player that deserves $168 million.
That's a big start.
Javi Baez,
Except yesterday, he crapped out.
Except yesterday, but before yesterday, he had been playing like the player that we wanted to see, the guy that we paid.
I got something for everyone tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
It's going to be the draft lottery in the NHL. The Red Wings are sitting there, I think, at 9th. I think they have a 5% chance of winning the top pick, and Connor Bedard is the guy everyone wants.
They have the 9th best odds, as you mentioned, Maz, and yes, they do. 5% chance. 8 o'clock tonight.
Get your rabbit feet out.
NHL draft lottery, and why not? Right?
Give them a break.
Why not?
I don't think they're going to get 1, but I think they're going to get 2. That
Let
was
them shock the
my
world.
guess last week.
They owe the Red Wings a couple here. They really
owe Detroit.
do. They owe them. Now, that said, would you rather the Red Wings win the number 1 pick or the Pistons win the number 1 pick?
I think the Pistons.
Me too.
I mean, I think the Pistons, because if they don't, you have no shot to be good. If you don't, they have no shot.
I take mine back. Red Wings.
Yeah?
I want the Red Wings to be number 1 because Connor is good as everybody
Connor
said he is.
Bedard.
Connor
Yeah.
Bedard. I'd rather that because I know that Stevie Eisenman and the team will use him better.
You don't trust the Pistons?
Not
yet.
at all.
Yeah.
Not right now. I'm being honest. I hope so, but I don't trust him. Victor Wembanyama, we might get him at 1 and waste his career from what I've seen right now with the
Don't say that.
First, no, you asked me what my opinion is. I'm telling you why. I would rather the Red Wings get 1 because I know the Red Wings will use it the right way.
Awesome stuff. We'll see you tonight. And then NBA, their draft lottery doesn't happen until the conference finals.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
my God, that's going to be big.
Yeah.
That is going to be big.
Can you imagine if they hit on both?
Oh, my God.
I mean,
what if we get 1 for both?
We'd be back on the map, man.
No, totally.
With the Lions?
With the draft next year?
Come on,
Lions?
man.
Okay.
Oh, man. Bring it back.
Listen, here's the games tonight. You got Vegas and Edmonton in hockey, only 1 game, unfortunately. That series tied at 1. And in basketball, you got the Knicks at the Heat. They're down 2-1. And the Dubs and the Lakers. The Lakers blew them out the other night. The Golden State did not show up for that game. I'm going to go out and say it again. Put all your money on Golden State tonight.
Yeah, 100%, man. AD, the way he's playing defense.
It's the number, Maz.
They figured out.
I have no idea.
They figured out double teaming Clay on all those dribble handoffs. So
Lakers
well.
-2.5.
Take that.
Playoff Jimmy. I told you about playoff
The
Jimmy,
Heat
baby.
probably will beat the Knicks.
And just think, Tyler
There's
Hero
something
isn't
fishy
playing.
about
He's their
that
best
line.
shooter.
Something fishy about that line, Maz. I don't like that play. I usually
The Lakers
agree
are
with
home,
you.
man.
I usually agree with you. Something
You
fishy about
said you think the Lakers are gonna win?
No, he said the Warriors.
Hey, look, there's a reason why LeBron James is in the playoffs.
LeBron
People
James.
forget LeBron James was in the play. They were in the play-in tournament just 2 weeks ago, and now they're potentially looking at a playoff championship. Anyway, look, we got a lot. We appreciate you guys. I know I didn't get a chance to look at the Woodward Sports chat. I never do. Those guys do, but I appreciate all the love and support in the chat. Getting out of here. Appreciate you guys. Love everybody in here.
Love
we'll
to
see
Stan,
you tomorrow.
love to Grandma Shirley.
I appreciate that,
love
man.
Your
Thank
family,
you.
Brandon.
And remember, life doesn't happen to you; it happens for you. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.